Hi friends, Bruce Whitey here, host of Straight Talk Wealth Radio, heard nationally. I want to talk to you about a very important workshop that I will be personally conducting for you. Now, please notice the annotation boxes on this video for the specific dates and locations. But right now, let me just start out by saying to those baby boomers, pre-boomers, and slightly post-boomers out there, let's say ages 45 to 70, that when it comes to saving, investing, and trying to build a retirement nest egg, a secure dream for you and your loved ones today, you've not been dealt a very good deck of cards this decade. And frankly, it's a tough situation. But it's true. My dad retired in the early 1980s. What a time to let your money go to work for you. All he had to do was watch his computer screen every day. Maybe he had to look away for one short period in October 1987. But he saw his wealth steadily grow while he golfed and rode his bicycle. God bless you, Dad. But that's not going to work for us. Because if you haven't figured it out, the 80s and the 90s are gone. For more than the last 10 years, instead of steady growth, we've seen a market that just seems to have taken back everything that it gives while it really goes nowhere in the long run. You know, they used to say that the stock market is your best long-term investment. And for our parents, that was true. But now it seems that the stock market is, if anything, a good short-term investment of 5 to 7 years, as long as you know how to get in at the bottom and out at the top. And how about the real estate market? Well, they also used to say that real estate always appreciates. Well, firstly, long-term or short-term. But that question aside, do you know what else always appreciates? Just about everything. It's called inflation. And you'll see charts in this workshop of housing prices minus the overall inflation factors and how really it's been relatively flat for 100 years, except for an occasional bubble that always bursts. So look, I'm not here to bash stocks or real estate because the fact is they both have tremendous potential to build wealth, as long as you understand how they will perform in the times that we're in. And that's what I want to help you get your thinking readjusted for, because this is not going to be an investment workshop. I don't handle investments. It is going to be a strategic educational seminar on how things are changing in this global economy and how they will continue to change for the next decade, and how your retirement planning strategies need to adjust to the new rules these times are going to enforce on you, whether you're ready for it or not. Now, I'm sorry to tell you that the diversified pie charts of stocks and bonds alone, or some magic net worth number, won't make retirement for the baby boom generation or its fringes. Instead, what you're going to learn about in this workshop are strategic issues, such as one, the fundamentals of demographics. That's the study of populations, their consumer habits, their sizes, their birth rate trends, which are the actual organic drivers of economies. For example, you realize that with their one-child policy for so many decades, that the Chinese have set a ticking time bomb into their economy when the day comes that they have more old people to take care of than they have young people to pay for those benefits. You think we have Social Security headaches? You ain't seen nothing yet. That's demographics. Two, we're going to show you how government entities such as the US Federal Reserve and the European Central Bank will create stimulus-addicted bubble economies that will eventually burst harder than they should have, as these governments fight the organic demographic forces that have to play out sooner or later. And three, it's something I call, what does that mean to you? Why should you even care? Well, one, how do you grow a portfolio anymore in a decade with so much volatility to come? Two, do you know that these times inherently have to force a shift in strategy from asset growth to income security? It is a very different play, and you need to understand not only why, but how to most efficiently make that shift. Three, And you certainly better be thinking about inflation, because it'll come back, but only after a period of severe deflation moves in first. And let me tell you, don't call that shot wrong in strategy or in timing, or you could lose everything. But I'll show you why it happens in this order and how to watch the signals. And what if I could show you a simple strategy where you could benefit from either movement, inflation or deflation, and totally come out ahead? Look, folks, I know that so many of you have been so beaten over the head with all these seemingly random events that it's a challenge just to come out of such a deep apathy to even think that there might be something effective you could even do about it. But something does happen when you understand the big picture of how and why these things occur. You do get smarter about trends. Can I give you just one small example of how this knowledge can make a difference? In 2002, I bought a home in the San Fernando Valley, California for an average market price before the real estate boom went crazy. Because I can make my study time a bit of a legitimate part of my working hours, I certainly understood the real estate bubble was in fact a bubble. Thanks to the help of some very smart people, a whole heck of a lot smarter than me, such as Doug Andrew in his book, Last Chance Millionaire, John Talbot, and his book, Sell Now, which came out in 2006 after his 2003 book, The Coming Crash in the Housing Market. So by the time my home value had doubled in appraisal price, I removed my equity, I set it aside, and I just waited for the real estate crash to come. No surprise, because the information was out there and I had the time to pay attention. And today, after the crash, getting a 3-bedroom condo right on the beach in California for $160,000, and they were selling for far more than double that just a few years ago, was not only a score, it was really just a way to preserve my assets. I didn't buy it from being wealthy in my business. It was really just acquired from leveraging trends in the economy. Now, I'm not telling you this to brag that I'm some self-made millionaire. Believe me, like the rest of you, I still have a lot of savings to accumulate before I could dream of not working anymore. All I'm saying is that it does not take a lot of investment savvy to see what to do in the next 10 years to protect your wealth, prepare for what's coming, and in fact prosper in the coming decade of more change to come. It just takes paying a little attention to the big influences and their ultimate outcomes. So in this workshop, I'm going to call on the work of my friend, economist, and New York Times bestselling author Harry S. Dent, the work of Rich Dad, Poor Dad wealth coach Robert Kiyosaki, economist and UCLA visiting scholar John Talbot, and several others. And since this is actually a workshop, you're going to walk away with some tangible fundamentals yourself that you have specifically calculated to go right out and apply to your own retirement plans for the 2010s and beyond. So join me for this extensive workshop that will help you protect, prepare, and prosper in the best years of your life. Thanks for listening, and I'd love to see you there. Let's have some fun and learn a lot of new stuff. Thanks.
Welcome to Straight Talk Wealth, heard every Sunday night at 5 p.m. with your experts in all aspects of wealth accumulation, preservation, and income planning guaranteed to last a lifetime. And now, your host of Straight Talk Wealth, Bruce Whitey, on AM 870 KRLA.